Welcome to Summer Camping 2020 with WSPL. Janet here, just wanting to share some tips and tricks for your camping adventure. I hope that you're going to do camping this summer. It could be at a campground, it could be a canoe trip, just like this backpack is all ready for a canoe trip, or even an adventure in your own backyard. I hope that you're thinking along those lines. I'm just going to take off this heavy backpack. It's full of good stuff that is all ready for my camping trip. I was thinking about going camping, and I was thinking of a song that I recollect from a few years ago, and it was just, we're going camping now, we're on our way, we're going to climb up a mountain, run and jump and play, we're going to shout, hip hip hooray! You're going to be out in nature, and that is so awesome because you can see and find interesting things. You might find some acorns or some pine cones or some different leaves that you've never seen before. What about if your hike takes you along a stream and you could glance into that water and you would see some fish swimming there? You might even have your fishing pole with you and you could fish and catch some of those fish in that stream. So we've talked about going camping or hiking. What about when it's time to go to bed? You could get your sleeping bag, put it out on the grass, and just gaze up at the sky. Gaze at the Milky Way. You might even see a shooting star. That would be so awesome. But then you're going to snuggle up in your sleeping bag, wherever you're camping, in your tent or in your trailer, wherever you are. And when you wake up in the morning, take a deep breath and maybe you will even smell some sizzling bacon. Oh, yummy. Maybe mom or dad are already up making breakfast. Or maybe at nighttime, you'll make a campfire and you'll have brought along some marshmallows or some hot dogs, and you can put them on a stick and hold them over the fire and make roast marshmallows or roast your hot dogs right over the fire. That is just awesome. These are just some of the fun things that you can do when you are camping, when you're out in nature, enjoying all the beauty around you. It could be trees and rocks and water. It's just endless, the fun that you can have. But in order to go on a camping trip, you need to be prepared because there are many things that you need to take with you when you're going camping. So it's a good idea to decide, are you going to be going on a canoe trip? So you'll need to carry all of your things in a backpack like I've shown you. Or are you going to be at a campground and you're going to be in a tent or in a trailer? Because that just determines what you are going to need to have with you. So I'm going to talk about tent camping because that's what I started to do. So you have to have a tent. You can even set that up in your backyard. And if you haven't camped before and you're planning a camping trip, it's a good idea to set up your tent in your backyard because you need to practice setting up your tent. You can even sleep in your own backyard because that's just part of the fun. So you're going to need a tent. You're going to need a sleeping bag. You're going to need maybe a mat to put on your sleeping bag so that when you lay down, there's a little bit of comfy underneath you and not all this hard ground. You probably want a pillow, and I have this handy dandy squished up pillow that I believe I got at Mac. So you might want to do some shopping at Mac because there you can get some items that do fold up or squish up really small. So this is my pillow. Looks pretty small, easy to pack, and that's what's good about getting things like that. Then you can pack more in a smaller space. So you've got your sleeping bag and your mat and your pillow. At nighttime, you're probably going to need some kind of a light. So maybe you have a flashlight or a lantern, or maybe you'll use some candles. Then you might need a tarp because you might want to be prepared in case it's raining. You need to cover your things with a tarp. So you're going to need some ropes. And don't forget a first aid kit. But we'll talk about that another day, all the things that you need to make sure that you have in your first aid kit, because you need to be prepared. So when you're camping, besides sleeping, you're going to be cooking and eating. So you have to plan ahead what your menus are going to be so that you do take all the items of food and all the pots and dishes that you're going to need in order to make that food item. So you'll need some kind of a stove with a fuel source, probably propane, or you might take a barbecue. But remember, there's usually a fire pit, so you maybe would want to take a grill just in case there isn't one at your campsite, but have a grill so that you could even cook right over the open fire. You probably need some oven mitts. You might need a cutting board depending on what you're going to cook. You might want to be chopping up some vegetables, so you'll need your cutting board and a sharp knife. And of course, all your dishes, you'll need a plates and cups and spoons and knives and forks for all the people that are in your group. You might want a coffee pot or a kettle of some sort to heat up water. You need measuring spoons and serving spoons or flippers. If you take things in cans, don't forget your can opener. That would just not be a good scene if you got to your campsite and you had some cans of food to open and no can opener. So don't forget your can opener. You'll need a water jug. You will need your cooler because that's where all your food is, so you'll need ice. So those are just some of the things to think of that you're going to need. You're going to also need some cleaning things. You're going to need like a dishpan, something to wash your dishes in. And then you'd need dish soap and a dishcloth and a drying towel for your dishes. And you might need a little a broom and a little dustpan. And what about some sponges? You might want to have those handy too. Another thing you need to pack are the things for your personal hygiene. So you will need soap, you would need a washcloth and your bath towel, beach towels too, your toothbrush and your toothpaste, maybe some shampoo, your hairbrush, your comb, a mirror, some sunscreen, some lip balm, deodorant, the list goes on. You think of all the things that you use and that you would need if you were camping. Then you need to think of your clothing, and you can't just assume it's going to be hot, hot, hot and take shorts and t-shirts and your bathing suit and that's it, because it might cool off at nighttime. You might need a sweatshirt. What if it rains? You might need a poncho or some kind of rain gear, maybe your boots or your jacket, a rain jacket. So those are just a few things to think of. Then you're going to think of the things you want to do when you're camping. Maybe you are able to take your bikes along. That would be awesome. So if you have your bikes, you're going to need your helmets. And if you're going to have a campfire, you might need some kind of an axe or a hatchet, because you're going to need to chop up that campfire wood into some kindling to get your fire started. You might want to bring along some toys or games, and like I mentioned before, maybe you're going to go fishing, so you might want to have your fishing rod. Maybe you like to play soccer, so you need your soccer ball, or baseball. If you're going to play baseball, you need your bat, your ball, your glove. What about badminton? Maybe some badminton rackets and a birdie. Those are all things to think of that you might want to include when you're packing up to go camping. You might need some matches. If you're not going to start a campfire, you need matches or a lighter of some sort. So the list goes on, and you need to think of everything, because you can't just run in the house and grab it unless you're camping in the backyard. So I know that whatever you're planning, it's going to be awesome. So just get thinking and make a list of all the things so that you can check through it. Think of all the scenarios. If I'm going to make scrambled eggs, what do I need? I need the eggs, and I need a frying pan, and I need the spatula. So just go through your list, get it created, and then we'll talk about maybe some recipes that you could use when you're camping. Something different that is easy, because when you're camping, you get hungry. Anyway, I will see you back here again sometime soon with some more tips and tricks for your camping trip. So I will see you soon. Have a great day. Bye for now.